it's the weekend is coming up, and there's a big event in Artesia. A lot of folks have been working hard to make it happen. It's the City of Champions Comic-Con, and Kandese is here from the Arts Council. Hello.
Hello. I will say, it is weird to be on a different day and not hear the white and nerdy.
Well,
because that's usually what I hear right before we start.
Yeah, well, you're in the last half of the hour instead of the top of the hour, and we have McDonald's breakfast here. So
we do.
If you want a breakfast sandwich,
I will grab one. So we used to do Fridays.
That's right.
So when we switched to like Thursdays, once we came back, I was like, I kind of missed the McDonald's a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Well, I know a lot of folks have been working hard to pull off C4, the City of Champions Comic-Con, and somebody said that there was a concern they had over the use of the term Comic-Con, but that's not an issue.
No. So there's cons all over the place.
Yeah.
Now, the big original con is San Diego. And so that's the con, right? But there's Comic-Con places unless you're going to call it something different. Like Roswell calls theirs Galacticon.
Right.
Because, they have the alien thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, really you could be... anything, it's comic convention. So con is like an acronym, but...
Yeah. Okay.
There's nothing wrong with it, yeah.
Well, I didn't think there was.
No, the nerd in me is like confused. Like I go to cons all the time.
I know.
What's the scandalous part of that? I don't know.
Well, you didn't have to write a check to the San Diego Comic-Con to be able to use the term Comic-Con if you're talking about the City Champions Comic-Con.
No.
That was the concern that somebody had. They didn't want you guys to get in trouble for using that word.
Oh no, there's the con is free and loose. Like they talk about it in movies and TV shows. If we had to pay royalties all the time, I don't know that would be.
Oh, it'd be crazy.
Yeah,
it'd be crazy. Well, let's talk about. You've got a couple of panels that are going to be at the Ocotillo. You've got a cosplay panel.
Yes.
That Jessica talked about. So if you want to know what cosplay is and how to properly participate in cosplay, that panel would be.
Yes, and that's with Lowell Irby, the younger. He is going to be dressed in his best Spider-Man costume.
Really?
Super excited. And he is excited about it.
Okay.
So he'll be there doing the cosplay panel. Yeah.
Okay.
So we lost our cosplay panelist, and I'd gotten wind of that he did it from another friend, and he was so thrilled. So we are happy to have him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
There's going to be a lot of Spider-Mans from what I hear. Even my little brother's doing a Spider-Man, so Spider-Man's in. So be prepared to see a lot of Spider-Mans running around Main Street.
So would that be the plural? Would it be Spider-Mans or would it be Spider-Men?
Maybe it's Spider-Men. We have lots of Spider-Men running around.
And are there any women that are doing Spider-Man? Because then it could be Spider-People.
I have no idea if anyone's doing Gwen. Gwen Stacy is the one Spider-Woman.
I did not know that. Okay.
I know too much. Yeah, anyway, I do. There's and there's different ones. So you have Into the Spider-Verse, you have the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, and then you have Tobey Maguire. So it just depends. Tom Holland, whoever.
I did buy and watch the last one where they all three
I need to see it still.
Together. It's pretty good.
I'm excited. Yeah.
Because they're all three in it.
Yes.
Tobey Maguire,
Andrew, and
Tom Holland that's doing the Spider-Man now. So it's not bad if you like that kind of stuff. Then your other panel is
at the creators panel.
The creators panel, and Jessica said you've got a couple of authors that are going to be doing that.
Yeah. So I know a little. I don't know as much about them, but I'm really excited to have them come on stage and talk about what they do.
Let's see, it's Jay Newcomb, I think I wrote that down right, who wrote Visigothic.
Yes.
And Alania?
I'm not positive on the I've only seen it written, so I'm not 100% sure.
I'm trying to say it every possible way so that maybe one of them is correct.
So one of them's correct.
Starseed is her work. And so as these panels go on, do they talk and then take questions, or how they generally work?
Jessica will be there moderating, and she'll have some panel questions. She's been working on them to ask the panelists. And then, of course, if you want to come and ask questions yourself, you're more than welcome to have some unanswered questions you can ask.
So maybe they don't talk about what you want to know, then you can go ahead and
if you have a question.
Throw that question in. Okay, and those will be on the stage at the
Ocotillo.
At the Ocotillo.
Yes.
Okay. Then you're having your pop-up art
Yeah, so we have the pop-up is up. So I found a lot of people were very confused about the theme. Pop art was created by Andy Warhol, and so I was surprised at the amount of questions. So, like, what's the theme? Pop art. What is pop art? So if you're curious about it, come and see and vote. It's a public vote. It's not a juried show. And it's up on Facebook, so you can vote with your likes, or you could come in and put pieces of paper in our voting box at the OPAC.
Okay. So that'll be, but they're up.
They're up.
And did you have a good, from those that did know what pop art was?
Oh my gosh, it's great. I'm very thrilled. And it looks great on our new walls. So if you haven't been in the Ocotillo, not only do we have new lights, we have our walls have painted and our floors are done. So, and our front desk is there now. We have a front desk. So everything is kind of getting updated in the lobby. So if you haven't been by to see what we've done so far, you should come and see that too.
And then the game demos.
Yeah, so we'll have 2 game demos. So the update is we have the gaming tables, so that if you play Magic the Gathering, any sort of the card games, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, still, whatever, or any other sort of game, and you want to come and just play or find people to play with, the gaming tables are open all day. And then the game demos, Matt Bromley is doing his at 2 p.m., and then we have Matt Kaiser, who's doing a D&D one-shot at 3 p.m. But we also will have a vendor that will have a Warhammer booth. And he'll be talking about Warhammer. He's also helping us with our miniature painting, which is Reed Edwards. Okay. Now, the first person you mentioned on the games, Jessica said it's a game of their own. Matt Bromley. He's been at some of the vendor shows we've had at the Ocotillo before, but yeah, he creates and gets them boxed and everything, makes his own board games. They have a space theme because of course he's from Roswell, and he's also heavily involved in Galacticon, but he will be doing his demoing one of his games at the Ocotillo. And all that starts about 11 o'clock? Yes. All that goes on throughout the day tomorrow. And then the library's got some pretty exciting stuff. The cosplay competition is at the library, right? So you go there to register, and then the judging will happen at the library. And so you can go register all day, and then the actual competition starts at 2:45. Yeah, and so we know we have a lot of people excited, and they're going to be coming in their cosplay. I know the Boy Scout troop is so thrilled, and they all plan on dressing up, so I'm excited to see what they come out in. They're going to be helping us as volunteers too. So if you have a cosplay that you've been working on or ready to display, show your hard work, 2:45.
I think the only thing that I would probably be good at would be Fat Thor. That'd be about the only one. I think I could pull that one off. I have a few that are on my list that I'm still gathering stuff for, so I won't have a full-on cosplay going. But I have a list that I'm working on of cosplay. So for myself, but I will also be working, so I wouldn't want to be dressed up that day because it's already gonna be hot and I'll be running all over the place, and that's not conducive to being dressed up. No, I think so, because I didn't let the beard grow, but I could have put a wig on.
You could be in the process of growing the beard, and then with the wig and the sweats.
And I'll just the sweats, and I'll just
and the robe
chair with a whole bunch of empty beer bottles.
Yeah, and some crumbs.
Yeah. I'll be Fat Thor.
Yeah, it'd be great. It'd be awesome. That is a viable cosplay if that's what you want to do. Totally no shame.
Well, nobody would want to see me in a Spider-Man costume. I'm telling you right now, that's not good cosplay.
There's no judgment in the cosplay community. We're all about body positivity, so you can do whatever you want.
I'm Peter Parker at 50.
Well, you had the Into the Spider-Verse.
That's right.
And he pulled him through, and he had the beer belly and stuff because he was depressed because MJ dumped him.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
maybe it could happen. I don't know.
Yes.
Now I asked Jessica about the wound making workshop, which and I did not know this, or maybe I did know this and I'd forgotten. I guess you can buy fake blood?
Yes.
I mean, that's what it's actually called?
Yeah.
Is fake blood?
Yes. You can make it or you can buy it. I only know that because we use it in theater. So yeah, you can, and they have the bruising kits and the silicone kits to make the flesh, and you could do all of that. You could buy all of it. Yeah.
So that's good for either participating in other Comic Cons or being ready for Halloween, whichever it is. That,
multi-change, yes.
Yeah.
Interchangeable.
That'd be great. So what have we missed? If we could.
And we also have the longest one is 11 a.m. to 2:45 p.m. and that's the miniature painting.
Okay.
And so if you are into miniature games, or even some of the the role-playing board games now, they come with the minis and they're not painted. So you have to paint them yourself or find someone who can paint them. So if you have interest in learning how to paint your own miniature items, they'll be free. It's a paint and take. So you come in, you paint them. I have a couple of volunteers, Reed Edwards being one of them. Another one is Austin Calloway, who paints his own minis. They'll be kind of around during the day to help if anyone has specific questions about miniature painting, if you catch them.
Okay.
The rest of the time, it's just a volunteer will be there to be like, here's the paint. But those are the two I asked because I know they specifically paint minis.
So what are the size
of a miniature?
Yeah.
They can vary.
Okay.
They can be really small, and they have some larger ones, especially if you're using them for D&D and you have a large monster creature, to give a size difference, they'll be bigger. It just depends.
Because I'm trying to think, and I'm sure I haven't been the first to think this, but I'm thinking if you've got a model railroad, HO scale model railroad, could you use these
miniatures?
Miniatures, they'd be sitting on the platform at the train depot.
Oh my gosh, that'd be hysterically funny. Yes, you could. You could use your minis and for multiple things.
Playing Monopoly?
Yeah, that would be a fun Monopoly game.
Yeah. So what would be like a miniature character?
So I had a miniature for my previous D&D character. She was what you would call a cat person.
Okay.
The race is called Hinjiokai, but she was a cat person, and my dad had miniatures from all sorts of stuff, so he found me one, and it was a cat lady.
Cat lady.
Yeah, and so we used that to move around our maps and stuff. So
could you use that on Monopoly?
I feel like if you didn't want to use the shiny dog or the thimble or whatever, you could take your miniature and be like, bam, I'm in the game of Monopoly. Yeah,
you'd be the winner in that of that category.
You'd have the best miniature in the game.
Yeah. Now, is there any cost for folks to come out?
So the cost would be if you're going to visit our food trucks, which are at First American Bank. They graciously allowed us to use their parking lot.
Okay.
And there might be a vendor or two over there also. So we have a few food trucks, and then we have vendors that will be selling items. So some are really Comic-Con themed, some aren't.
Right.
Just the nature of where we're at, but it's fun, and we'll be on Main Street.
Okay. What do you know what food trucks you have?
We have now you asked me and the names went right out my brain. I know we'll have one, they're doing a burrito tent.
Okay.
It's the ones that you see at Fall Fiesta, with some agua fresca. And then we have another, her name's Susanna. I know that's the name of the lady with the food truck.
Okay.
And she does tacos and all of the Mexican food. And then we have our favorite old-fashioned soda.
Okay.
Wagon coming in.
The Wild West soda,
yes.
folks? Okay, good.
They'll be there as well. And we have a couple of maybes. So we'll see.
A couple of maybes?
Yeah. Really, for food trucks, this year we didn't really charge them to be there. It was just to see who we could get.
There. Yeah. Well, that'll be good, because I'm going to be hungry about sometime.
Yeah, just come on down. Yeah, so
whether you're participating in the event or not, there'll be the food truck.
Yeah,
there.
and come, and it's free. The event is free for the public this year. So you come in, you walk around, enjoy yourself, do something fun with your family. That will be nice and cool in both the library and the OPAC, so you don't have to be in the sun the whole entire time.
That's good. And will some of the folks that are in costume, do they enjoy having their picture taken with folks?
So usually, especially when you go to the bigger cons, if someone's in it, more often than not, if you want to take a picture with someone, they'll tell you yes. But I would say be polite and ask and respect them if they tell you not right now.
Right.
But yeah.
because they either haven't finished their costume or they haven't gotten in character yet.
Yeah, or maybe they're just taking a break.
Or they're in character.
Yeah, and it's fun because sometimes you have characters that are from the same anime or from the same comic, and they didn't come together. And when they come across each other, they'll take group photos, which is really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I could also be Grumpy Thor.
You could be Grumpy Thor.
I could be Grumpy Thor.
Yes.
Grumpy Fat Thor.
You could be Odin, the All-Father.
I don't know if he pictured him as grumpy, though.
He is kind of cantankerous.
Yeah.
Especially if you're doing an actual Norse mythology.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what different areas people get into, because you've got the comic books, you've got the movies, the superhero movies.
You have actual mythology.
Actual mythology that people really get into and stuff like that. Do you see a lot of crossover with maybe the steampunk stuff?
We do have steampunk.
Okay.
Steampunk people come out to cosplay as well. It's a form. You'll see that. There are people who will get really into it, and they might be like this big raven creature, and they've made all the mechanics so their wings flap, and they're on stilts. Like, one year I saw someone got really creative, and they decided to be Twig Groot. Like Groot after he twig, and they had the wagon that you pull kids in, but they had a pot, and they stood in the pot, and they had a friend that would pull them around, and they were like Groot, and it was fun. People come up with some fantastic things.
Well, it's easy to know your lines for that character.
We have a lot of Disney people dress up in Disney and come out. Really, there's not a limitation.
That's great.
On what you can do.
So starting around 11 o'clock or so in downtown Artesia, just start wandering around and check out all the fun and the activities, or participate if you want to participate in them, and have fun with all that. Well, that is great. Well, a lot of folks have really worked hard to make this happen, and hopefully it'll...
This has been going since 2019. Because we were going to have it in 2020, and COVID hit.
Yeah, I know.
We have been, especially Jessica, working really hard for several years to actually make it a thing.
Yeah. Well, if you really want to get people mad, just walk around as Dr. Fauci with a mask on.
Oh no! We want to have we want to have fun. We want to have fun.
That's right.
And before I forget, there are comic cookies that I will have.
Okay.
From Sweet Confections, but I only have 50, so they're first come, first serve. So if you want your Comic-Con cookie, you'll have to make sure you come early in the day.
Now, one other event that's going to take place before you're back is Artrageous.
Yes.
That's on Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
How are ticket sales?
Ticket sales are still room for tickets.
Okay.
I think people are wrapped up with graduations and stuff. So we still have room. Our art reach during the day is full.
Okay.
So if you missed that, your homeschool, because we had a lot of homeschool families come to the last one, we still have tickets at 6 p.m. So I would say 5:45, everyone be there. But it's 6 p.m. on Tuesday, and they're an amazing show. It is worth it to, especially if you have children or you just like art, because they also invite you up on the stage afterwards so you can see it. If you happen to be a fan, you have something white, like a backpack or something, you want paint splattered, they will do that.
Okay.
And as a way of signature or whatever.
Yeah.
So they are geared and ready to go. Very excited to be here.
So go online and get your tickets for that.
Yes.
And Artrageous will be Tuesday night at the Ocotillo.
Yes, it will.
Well, Candace, good to see you.
Yeah, it was good to see you.
We have McDonald's here.
Yep.
All right. And thanks to McDonald's and Sylvia and her crew over at McDonald's for having our breakfast for our guests today. And check out, they got the